Den Sorte Dot. Not sure on the exact pronunciation of it. It's a Danish word. Basically means the Black Death. So it's just an introduction to the album. It sets the tone. It's eerie. It's nasty. It's basically saying this is what's going to follow. So it just sets the tone for the album and prepares the listener.
It was one of the first things that we wrote that we knew was going to be on the album.
And still to this day we open with that track live, and it just sets the tone with the plague masks, the green lighting, the smoke machine. It just makes everything sound eerie, which is wrong. Way of the Wolf is the second track on the album, and basically it's just when the dead were found in the streets, they basically just left them, so the infected people were just left in the streets to rot. The wolves would come from the forests or wherever they were and would just come down and eat the dead and terrorise, the local communities basically. But they would just feast on the flesh, saying that they will come down and feast. The hounds of the moon. Yeah, simple as that.
It's a band favourite.
It lends itself. It's
Yeah.
fast. Dark Throne-esque.
Yeah.
It just, yeah. Cool.
The Bearer is basically about the church condemning people for their sins. They basically said that God was condemning everybody for being sinful, and they basically fabricated a lie that there was this beast that came from hell with sort of like fiery eyes and brimstone breath, and he would attack anybody that was sinful or supposedly infected, and they said that the spirit of the dead would fly through the air and infect people, and this came from this beast. So they basically just made up this story and just put the fear of God into people basically, and that's what the Bear is about. But it's because they didn't understand the science of the plague, so they didn't understand that it was just a disease that was wiping people out. They felt that they needed to take control and say that it was the devil, it was Satan's work, but not God's work, which I thought was really, really interesting, because you look at a lot of stuff in history and the church controlled a hell of a lot and put the fear into people so much. I just thought it made a great subject. Purification by Fire is basically about, there was this community, I think it was in Germany, they started getting infected with the plague. They were obviously drinking from the well that was obviously infected, and a lot of people started to die. But they lived in a community where there was quite an affluent community, but they weren't infected. It turns out that the affluent community were of Jewish descent. Now they obviously noticed that the Jewish community were not infected with the plague and no one was dying, and they persecuted them and basically said that they were poisoning their wells, and that was the reason that everybody was dying. So little did they know that actually the water was contaminated, and that's why everyone was spreading the plague. So they rallied together like a lynch mob, and they went to the Jewish community and they started attacking them. They raped people, they just murdered people, but they gathered them all together and set them on fire in a purification by fire, hence the song title. These people, thousands were slaughtered, wrongly accused, because they were ignorant and didn't understand that it wasn't them being poisoned.